Welcome to Gossip and Glitz, your one-stop shop for everything pop culture and reality TV. The first thing we're going to start with is something that's been stirring up a lot on social media right now because of a recent documentary on Hulu, and that is the murder of Gabby Petito. Give us kind of a recap, Bri.
All right, Gabby Petito and Brian Laundrie, they wanted to do the van life, and so they were traveling across the country in the van, and then there's been reports of them like hitting each other, and so the police were called, and then she went missing, and then he went missing. It's been this whole thing, and then they found her, and she was, I guess I have to say, unalived.
Yeah.
Yeah, she was unalived, and then later on, he was also unalived. There's a lot that went in between that, and that's why we watched the documentary, and yeah, that's what we're going to talk about.
The reason that this kind of hit so close to home is because they were in Utah, and we're in Utah, and then she went missing up in Grand Teton National Park, which is in Wyoming, and they are also partially from Florida, which is where Megan is from. It's just kind of a lot of ties there.
And just being like a young woman who had all of this promise, and she was chasing her dreams and living this van life and trying to be, you know, a YouTube famous and an influencer, and it's just, obviously, I think a lot of young women can connect with that story and just be like, wow, this is so sad.
Yeah. Something that was really interesting in the documentary was that they showed a lot of her footage of her talking to the camera and her starting over and over again. And it felt very real because even in the past 5 weeks, we've learned a lot about what we're doing. And it was interesting to see at the beginning of her journey how she talked really slow, or she'd be like, okay, that doesn't sound good, and start over again. And she really wasn't that good at it.
No.
And then her video ended up turning out cute, and she could edit it super well.
Yeah, and she was really cute, but I also think that we're saying that maybe they fought all the time, so maybe she was filming all the time to avoid the fighting or him getting mad at her, was kind of what crossed our minds. And then when the footage came where the police pulled them over, and she just came like, I'm sorry, I was the abuser, I was the one doing it, and I'm just like, it just looked like this sad woman who was just scared, and she was like the one that just says sorry all the time, but she knows it's not her fault, but she's just in the habit of saying sorry all the time. That's the vibe I got, and that made me really sad.
Yeah. Almost like a little puppy. Like you could tell she was just so sweet and like trying to make everything better again in that footage.
Like it didn't happen.
And another takeaway from that footage that I thought was really interesting is that when the cops walked over to the door and like he rolled the window down and Brian like went to speak to the cops, the first thing he asked them was, have you spoken to Gabby yet? Almost like, did she give you the story that I told her to give you?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
You know?
That was interesting.
Yeah.
I didn't think of that either. I also didn't love his demeanor when he was, I mean, this has all been talked about, but the way he joked about it and was like, oh, she's crazy, and like joking about that, it just made me feel icky and sad for her while she's over there crying hysterically, and he's like getting to be his charismatic self, and it's just like, he's a narcissist.
Yeah. And wasn't it crazy that he's like, we'll let her have the van, but we'll get him a hotel room? I thought that was just so strange. Like, I'm not trying to blame the police or anything. Like, I know in the moment there's so many things that you can and can't. They tried to separate them, and then they ended up going back together anyway. But I do think that was weird that he got the hotel room and she still slept in the van.
Yeah.
Right?
I think they typically like separate the abuser, right? From the home, or the home, whatever that may be.
Yeah.
Which is like her vehicle. So like maybe that's kind of like regulation or law where it's like we separate the abuser from whatever their home is.
But didn't Brian say she can have the van?
Yeah.
Maybe.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But that is a good point.
Yeah, maybe that is protocol. I just still think with how traditional like these policemen were, and how the one police kept saying, oh, I just think like my wife has really bad anxiety. She does so much better with a hot shower. I think she just needs to go get a hot shower. Like, you're trying to treat her like a woman, so wouldn't you want to like continue the traditional roles and be like, oh, we gotta take care of the woman, because why should a woman be out by herself in the wilderness?
I mean, I agree.
Paying $5 for a shower.
He's like, you can go pay for a shower, but
It's
you can have a hotel room.
relaxing.
It's super relaxing. disgusting.
Not right.
Like, I've
don't
been
agree
in the
with
paid
it.
showers at Coulter Bay, and, like, they're not that great. I still wear my shoes, still very public, and you had to pay for a shower, so not that great.
So one of my key takeaways, like watching everything from like initially and then now seeing everything that we're seeing, the additional information coming out, was I am kind of upset with Brian's parents and the way that they handled everything.
absolutely.
Like,
Yeah.
it's appalling. How could you, the footage of the police officer just being like, they just want to know if their daughter's okay, and they're like, talk to my lawyer. Talk
Yeah.
to my lawyer.
And that was like
Excuse me? How heartless.
Yeah. But then it's like, it's crazy that they already had a lawyer, so they already knew something was happening. But then I've also tried to put myself in that position. I'm like, I know they'd be my child, and I'd like to say that if my kid did something bad, I'd turn him in. But then I'm also like, would I turn them in? You know, I don't know. Like, I've never been in that situation.
I think you would.
But you probably would, but I don't know. Like, do they actually know what happened? Do they not? I mean, the whole thing is just really crazy. Like, maybe Brian told them something totally different and out of this world, you know?
But regardless, like, of whatever he told them, like, if a police officer is coming and saying, like, this girl is missing
That's
and their
true.
parents are wondering where she is, like, to not give them any information or try to be helpful in any way is so incredibly selfish.
It's
But
crazy.
Didn't they say in the documentary that Brian's mom was very weird towards Gabby?
Mm-hmm.
Like, very just like, you're taking my son, and yeah, she
Maybe
just sounds a little
jealous.
psycho and jealous, yeah.
It makes me wonder if he, I don't know if you guys remember the note he left, but he made up some story, like couldn't even come to being honest in the end. Like, he's a total coward and lied and said that she fell in the creek and she was gasping, so he had to put her out of her misery.
Yeah.
Like, I really think he lied to his parents and said that something happened, he accidentally. And then they're probably like, oh, it was an accident, we need to speak to a lawyer. But still, it's like, where do you draw the line?
Yeah.
It's really sad.
It's so sad. But also, it's like, I've been seeing a lot of videos where people are saying that the whole time that everybody thought that Brian was in his parents' house, that he was getting away. And so they were just buying him time. They bought him like weeks of time because they really think that he's just been escaping. Because the person who identified his teeth was a family friend. It was like his dentistry or something like that.
Whoa.
I know. So I think he's still somewhere because after, I think he's out there because after,
Free with the conspiracy theories.
listen, because after he posted on his story on his Instagram and he was on a boat. It was a boat with water and then it deleted within seconds. That was like way after he,
I remember that.
That's weird.
because who else would have it? He's out there.
It's crazy that he was texting her family off of her phone after we know she was unalived. It's nuts.
Yeah.
And I don't know, I didn't know this at the time, but after watching the documentary, he was texting himself saying, he texted her saying, hey sweetie, I'm just out hiking, I wish you were here, I'm gonna stay here for the night, I'll be back, whatever. And then she texts back, no problem, like they're the happiest people on the entire planet. When they don't, their texts leading up to that, according to the text in the documentary, were not wholesome.
No. And they were saying that they were responding like seconds within each other in the same location, so it just doesn't, like, obviously he was texting, so.
Yeah.
He really thought he was smart enough to get away with it. Like, he really did.
Well, I think he did get away with it, now he's gone and he's probably living in another country.
Even if he's not gone in another country and he got away with it for as long as he did, I think that's something super unique about this case in the age and country that we live in, is that she went missing August 27th, and I don't think they found her until September 17th or 19th.
Yeah, 17th, yeah.
And then they found him, like, he had been gone for days before they even knew he was gone. And then it was not till October, mid-October, that they found him
Yeah.
dead.
There's
I mean,
just skeletons
unalived.
on the left.
Something interesting that I saw, they brought to light in the documentary that she had actually reached out to her ex-boyfriend,
Oh, yeah.
which I don't think this was very much on Reddit at the time because the ex-boyfriend's not going to be out there posting. Seemed like a nice guy.
Oh, yeah. He seems super nice.
But he was she was calling him and kind of giving him the lowdown about, okay, I think I need to make a plan to get out of this relationship. I've made my plan, I might leave. So the first day it seemed like, oh, she was just kind of bouncing ideas, and then it was maybe the day that she actually went missing, she said, I'm going to go through with my plan. And so people think, did he get mad, one, because she said she wanted to be a solo female van lifer? Or was it because he found out about the ex? And something that I found very controversial on Threads last night was someone said that they thought that that was the reason that she got unalived.
The ex?
Yes, the ex or the solo van lifer. And someone responded and said, don't forget that she also called the ex-boyfriend, which is cheating in my opinion.
Ooh.
I don't think that is a very nice thread from you, Baka Jessica.
Jessica!
Like, you're victim shaming, basically, and saying that she deserved to be unalived because she reached out to her boyfriend, which she considers cheating. If you are a violence survivor, like, you're going to do anything that you can to get out of it, including reaching out to someone that you think is your safe space.
Yep. And most likely when you try to leave, that is the most dangerous time. So if that was the time she was trying to leave, like, she was just in the most dangerous time. It has nothing to do with anything that she did wrong and everything to do with him being a horrible human being.
Yeah. You can't justify it.
No, you cannot justify it.
It's
you
not
really can't.
cheating. If she's trying to get out of there and she needs a safe space, like, she hasn't told these things to her family, and
She
so you can't, And so, I mean, for her to call her ex, I mean, he's just kind of just outside of the bubble that it probably felt like the right person at the time to help her or give her that courage to leave. But
he had even mentioned on the documentary that he hadn't talked to her at all until then, and was very surprised to hear from her.
Yeah. And Brian, I mean, like, all of those text messages you can see over and over again. He's like, I'm crying so hard because of this. Like, he's always crying and emotional.
So dramatic.
And so dramatic. And so, I mean, if what they meant by saying that, maybe Brian felt that way if he did find the messages, you know, and she tried to leave at the same time. But once again, that doesn't mean that you do that to somebody regardless.
no.
Wouldn't your first thought be, oh my gosh, she's struggling? If she was actually struggling, be like, I need to call for help.
Yeah.
I'm going to try to call 911. I'm not going to treat this person like an animal with a horse with a broken leg and put it out of its misery.
Yeah.
Even then I call the vet.
No.
So.
and he really thought people would believe that. Like, that's just, really? No. Don't believe it for a second.
No. He's kidding.
Yeah, he was a bad guy. But did you see how cute it was that her best friend and her mom and a lot of people in her family had her tattoo on their arm?
Aww.
She had a tattoo of a triangle with flowers in it, and then everybody else also got it.
Oh,
Isn't that so sweet?
That's sweet. I wanted to touch on, apparently, this is just like a random little fact. Apparently the lady who picked him up after he was like out hiking.
The older lady?
Yeah, the older lady. She was like on her way to like a church event or something like that, and she had a Bible in her car, and she said that as she was driving it like slid over onto his lap. And I'm like, I wonder how he felt in that moment.
Yeah.
I didn't even think about it that way. I just thought that was random. But now I'm like, oh, spooky.
Yeah. He was watching. From above. I don't know. This is like from above motion.
That's like,
you know, like they're like
if I was gonna scare you really bad, I'd do that in your bedroom at night. Like, she's like, I am God. It's more like Green Reaper.
Oh my gosh.
I am watching.
So,
I don't know what that
Natalie's like, moving on.
at the end of the documentary, it says that they did end up settling with the Laundrie family in 2024, so last year, which is why I think the documentary is now allowed to be released because there's no more legality about it. I don't know if anything further will happen with it, but it's closed for now, and it's really sad, but luckily Gabby's family continues to try and make more cases well known, especially for people of color, which is really cool that they're able to educate themselves and realize that people of color don't really get the media presence that Gabby did, so they're trying to fix that. So if anything, it's not a silver lining because it will never replace her, but it's a cool thing that they're doing.
That's amazing. I think that's awesome.
Yeah.
And they're putting like all of their grief to a bigger purpose as well.
Mm-hmm.
So I think that's a beautiful thing.
Yeah.
That they could be like go through something so horrible but try to do something with their grief that's positive.
Yeah. No, I think they're doing really good. But I do think the Laundrie family, I think they got off easy.
Next thing we're going to talk about is Secret Lives of Mormon Wives. It's currently airing right now on the actual TV, not just Hulu. So every time we watch The Bachelor, it comes on right after. For all the general public who does not have Hulu and didn't get to watch it, it just pops up in their homes.
Season 1.
The season 1. Okay,
Yes.
okay.
Mm-hmm.
Season 2?
No.
Okay.
Okay, so I think we touched on this a little bit before, but there's a rumor that it is...
A rumor?
That's how Meredith
That's
Marks
Meredith.
says it. There's a rumor that Secret Lives is taking the spot of The Bachelorette because I guess it got canceled. And they were maybe going to use Latia as the Bachelorette, but then she's Mormon. They're
Sold on SLC.
sold on SLC. And then there's Secret Lives, and now it's just too much Utah and Mormons for people from what the rumor says. And so now they're giving the second season of Secret Lives that slot.
Woo woo. Well, ratings for Bachelorette have gone down anyway. And then there was a rumor that they were going to ask Maria to be the Bachelorette too, and then she turned it down again. So they're like, all hope lost kind of thing, I think. And so they're going to give all the Mormons a scene, which is great because I love it.
Where did you see the rumor about Maria?
TikTok.
I love Maria though.
Yeah,
I
would
do
have
too.
loved this season of The Bachelorette with Maria, but it's fine. Secret Lives is great.
I wonder if there's a rumor that they're asking her to be the Bachelorette. Does that mean she's not on Paradise?
I don't think
feel
they
like
know
she
yet.
should be on Paradise. I hope she's on Paradise.
Mhm.
I love her.
I think they pull people pretty late for that one.
Do they?
Yes. Or they can.
Yeah.
It'll be interesting to see what happens. We'll see how that turns out and what the reason is, I don't know. But another thing is that I just saw an article that they were supposed to be filming The Bachelorette and they were about to start, and then they wiped the whole crew. So there's another twist of something that might have happened or may not have happened, but why, we don't know. That
Maybe
sounds
they're
very
part of-
sketchy.
Maybe they're part of Doge.
Oh my god. Politics. Politics.
Well, it
But only
makes
The Bachelorette.
sense too because right now The Bachelor is getting such bad viewership that unfortunately we're enjoying it, but The Bachelor is getting such bad viewership that it makes sense that they're like, maybe we don't do The Bachelorette.
Well, this
Yeah.
brand sucks.
Yeah.
He's not that good.
He's not good.
I'm trying to enjoy it still, but it's
Just
getting tough.
yeah.
It's getting tough, and we're early on still.
We'll see tonight.
He lost me the second time he tried to sing.
Yep.
Done.
At this point, I'm watching it for the women.
Yes.
Yeah.
You know?
And who's gonna win? I just gotta see the end. Speaking of Secret Lives, about 3 of them announced that they're pregnant, which are
Macy.
Michaela.
and Jen.
Yep.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so that's kind of exciting. Something I've been wondering is, do you guys think that were they planning on having another baby in the first place? Or were all 3 of them thinking in their heads, ooh, this would be a really good storyline for the next season. We should just get pregnant now. And then all 3 of them ended up having the same idea.
I mean, they seem like business women. I wouldn't be surprised if it was all strategy, honestly. But also, like, Mormons love to have a lot of babies, so
Yeah.
who knows?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. I think it was already in the plan, except for Zach and Jen. I bet Zach poked some holes in the condom. He's like, I'm gonna keep her because he's a psycho.
Oh,
That's what I think.
I don't like Zach at all.
No.
No.
I
Zach
thought they were over.
Can we just recap when she was like, what if it is a strip club? And he's like, I wonder what it's going to be like to be a single mom of 2 children or whatever. And then he's like, now I need my money for gambling. And it's like, what?
So bad.
Oh, I was so mad because I'm like, if Mike ever did that to me, or even either of their husbands, I would just You know, all of them, just one line. That's crazy.
It's horrible. And she's the one bringing in all the money, supporting him through medical school, and he treats her like
in
that.
New York City or something.
Yeah, he's like a weird, mean towhead. And I just, ugh. And I'm all about respect. Like, I don't want Mike going to strip clubs either. But Jen's not trying to go to a strip club. You know what I mean? It was just it was just like a fun night, and it was just a what if we went, and he instantly was like, attack.
And also, like, can we have a little bit of grace for the fact that they're filming a TV show?
Yeah.
And she might be in a situation that she didn't necessarily want to be in, but hey, I'm like making money for our family right now to support you through medical school.
And you're gambling?
Yeah.
Yeah. And like creating passive income, because social media, yes, you're constantly working, but your old videos and everything are constantly working for you too. So it's like everything that you get is good. I mean, which maybe the plot twist is that Zach realized he could make them more money by acting this way.
Maybe.
That's the ultimate plot twist, is
Yeah.
that he's bringing the drama on purpose.
Yeah. And didn't they, so they did move to New York, and now they're back?
No, he's still there. She has a place here from what it appears.
Oh.
But she has been here, and every time she posts, it's like an empty apartment. And this is just what people theorize, is that that's hers, and everybody thought they were getting divorced because she stopped wearing her ring for a while.
Right.
Which I think she's not wearing because it's part of the plot.
Adding to the drama.
Yeah, but now she just announced she's pregnant. And something I just realized is it's all the saints that are pregnant.
It is.
None of the sinners are pregnant.
Because they like making babies.
They colluded together.
I know. And now that's going to be like make them more sainty because they are, it's like blessed be the fruit.
Blessed be the fruit.
You know?
Well, I'm sorry, but to me, like out of all of them, I think it's Michaela. Michaela, right? Who has the atopic derm.
Yeah.
What did she add to the show? Nothing.
I think she's funnier than we know so far.
I hope so.
Yeah.
I hope so.
I get that feeling. I think she's going to be funnier than we know, and they didn't give her much airtime. But you're right, there wasn't much. But then there's certain things she says on social media that I'm like, oh, I think you're secretly funny.
That's true. They are funny. It's kind of like, it's like the silent but deadly kind of people, but silent by funny. Like, they don't talk a lot, but when they talk, it is kind of funny. Like your husband.
It's a singer. Yeah.
He's like that.
That is
He doesn't talk a ton. But when he does, he's witty or funny or
and when you get him started, sometimes
when
you can't get him to stop.
Yeah, maybe Michaela's the same way.
Yeah.
That's true.
You could say the same about Layla too, but she's
That's
funny
true.
as hell when she's on her Instagram.
Yeah, I think she's got a little spice to her.
Yeah, but she was like a cute, like the cute young one.
Yeah.
I don't know.
Yeah.
But she's like 20, right?
Yeah.
Isn't she like
Yeah.
20, 21, 22?
So who's your guys' favorite of the season then?
I feel like my favorite will always be Taylor, but only because I feel like she's always been just so straightforward. Like, she did the swinging, and she didn't try to deny it. Like, I don't care that she swung, but, like, she gave it a try, but she owned it. And then people were trying to blame her on all these things. She's like, yes, I did it. Like, stop trying to blame me. But you guys also had a, play in the book as well.
Yeah.
So, I don't know. I just like that she owns it. She's just the way she is, and I really like that.
Yeah.
Too. She's genuine.
Yeah.
So she's definitely my favorite too. Like, I'm like, okay, you can take it or leave it. She's herself, right?
Yeah.
Like exactly what you said. And I appreciate that. I
Yeah.
know what I'm getting.
It's sad to watch because you just want her to be happy.
Yeah. But then I'm like, then stop going back to Dakota.
I wish she
it's
made better
easier said than
decisions.
done.
I know. It is true. I get that, but
It's easier said than done, but I wish she would make better decisions with men.
Yeah.
And like find somebody to just be with.
yeah.
I like Taylor, but I think my favorite is Jessie.
I do like Jessie as well.
I didn't know if I liked her at first, just because you're feeling them out. But then as I got to know her and realized I think she's my age and she's just like a powerhouse, I really like that.
Yeah. Yeah, she's got like her jizz billboard in Orem, if you guys have seen it. Have you seen it?
No.
So it's like right in Orem. It's in the most perfect spot, and it just says Jay-Z Styles. So you're like Jizz Styles. But she made a joke of that on the show.
Yeah.
So, but I really like her, and at the beginning I did also really like Demi, because I thought she was really straightforward and good and like funny. But for some reason I feel like she's gonna get annoying.
Well, I think right now they all hate each other.
Oh,
I think they don't like her right now, but
don't like to meet.
yeah, and I don't know why.
I still like her. I felt kind of bad for her in season 1 at certain moments.
I like her a lot.
Yeah, I think she's cute and nice.
Yeah.
I don't know.
I could see where people might get annoyed, like in the situation where Taylor and Whitney were talking upstairs, and like Demi just waltzing up, you know, and she was like, "What's going on here?" And I'm like, if I was in that moment, I'd be annoyed with that friend because I'd be like, "You should like read the room, shouldn't be here." But then I also admire people who are straightforward, so it's hard. I don't know. Yeah,
That's true.
but I think Taylor and Jesse top 2.
Yeah.
And Whitney is the worst.
Still.
Still.
Next thing up is The Bachelor tonight, and it just sure really feels like it's heading along pretty quickly.
So quickly. How are we already at hometowns next week?
I think that this is episode 5 of The Bachelor, and we are already at hometowns next week with 4 girls left.
Is that always the case, or is it actually moving faster this season?
I feel like it's moving faster. Haven't girls left on their own, or was it just one?
Because
Rose.
Oh, that was Rose.
Yeah.
Rose, yeah.
She
But
was
other
only one
people?
left on her own, I think.
Why is it going so fast?
No, I don't. I think I also saw that since the reviews, I don't know if the reviews were down overall with The Bachelor, but they said that they started with less girls. So I think they started with 25 instead of 35 or something crazy like that.
They're trying to make it more exciting for us
Yeah,
by making it quicker.
maybe that
Yeah.
makes sense.
I don't know.
I mean, I'm not complaining because I'm bored.
I know. Well, maybe they're like, everyone hates Grant. Let's just wrap this up. So
Yeah.
So it looks like Joey's season 28, it was episode 8 that was hometowns.
And this
Yeah.
is 5.
Yeah.
no way.
Mm-hmm.
Did they take less girls
Yeah.
at the very beginning?
Yeah.
Yeah,
So
so
usually
20.
not only 25.
Oh,
Yeah.
jeez.
So the first date was a one-on-one, and that was with
Juliana.
Juliana. That made me like her more. It was a very odd date. Scotland is a weird place, but it seems nice. But I think that they work together.
Oh, I love her. I think she rocked that pink dress. I think she looked so pretty. I love her. I think she's so cute.
And they really bonded over the lone wolf.
God.
They're both lone wolves.
That was the cringiness for me.
Look at the sick tattoo because I'm a lone wolf.
He's like, she gets me. It's like looking in a mirror.
I guess I just was confused because he said, I'm not sure if I've showed you this, but like I swear he's talked about it multiple times.
Yeah.
Maybe not with
But they're
her.
on one-on-ones.
Yeah, maybe not with her.
So maybe the girls don't talk about it. They're like, well, he showed me his tattoo. And it's like,
Did
we've
he
all
show you
seen
his
it.
tattoo too.
I know.
Me too. That was so romantic.
It's not even a good tattoo. No offense to the artist who did it, but it's not that great.
It's just kind of cheesy. It gives me the ick a little bit when he's like, just look at this. Did you see it?
We're both lone wolves. I think that they have a lot in common with the addiction center of the family, stuff like that. But besides that, I don't know.
Yeah.
I'm not
Besides
a big
that,
fan
it's
of
like-
either one of them.
You don't like Juliana?
No, she's cute. She's adorable. But it's like, I don't know, I don't connect with her that much.
Yeah. But I think they connect good together.
Yes.
Compared to like him and Lutia or Dina, I just think that their IQ is a lot higher. Juliana seems smart. But
We don't know her well.
But I just like, I feel like she's on the same level as Grant. Like they just seem more level than Dina. Wow, I'm just digging my grave.
Okay, we'll cut that out.
You can keep it.
I think I really like Juliana, and she's super pretty and has like a fun personality, but we were kind of talking when we were watching her, and it's weird. This episode, I'm starting to wonder how genuine she is at all times.
I agree with Megan. I feel like some of the things that she says are genuine, and I'm like, oh, maybe she is this genuine and sweet girl. But then also, I've never felt like I've had to explain why I'm a happy person to somebody. Like, and say, oh, I'm a happy person because it's from all the trauma I went through when I was younger. I think you're just who you are. I don't know. We all went through some trauma.
Like she's like She's definitely playing it up a little bit for the show, is what it feels like.
Yeah, which maybe the producers asked her to.
Yeah.
And then we went to the group date.
Yeah.
Ooh, the group date.
The group date.
Mm-hmm.
Carolina strikes again. And gets all the attention. She just has to sit over there and pout, and then Grant takes the bait.
Yeah.
Spends a bunch of time with her and pisses everybody off, essentially.
It was like a little 5-year-old girl walking around being really sad that she didn't get the pink cookie. She got the blue cookie that day, but she really wanted the pink. So then she was just like mad. And then something like this. And then Grant went and got her and said, I'm happy again. Okay, I got the pink cookie.
I love Natalie's analogies, so we're getting them all. I agree with this completely.
Yeah,
it's like
she
a
really
little kid.
was. She's just pouty. But I feel like the date needed a little spice up because, I mean, they were just throwing rings on antlers. Like, it wasn't even really a date. I feel like if I was filming there, if I was on the group date, it just seemed very, like, I would hear crickets. Someone had to stir it up.
Yeah.
Yeah. Like, the group dates just aren't cranking it this year.
And then I did like seeing their connection when they talked. Like when she was crying and stuff, I don't know. Even if it's like obnoxious, it's still kind of cute to see them like each other.
Yeah, and they did. It seemed like they connected.
Yeah.
It was also nice to see Dina kind of stick it to Carolina.
Stick it to the man.
Stick it to
Stick
the
it to the
man.
man.
Dina's just so well spoken, and Carolina really couldn't hang as far as that goes.
No, but I think she feeds off of that. The more that Dina got mad at Carolina and the more that everyone else got mad at Carolina, it's like the more happy she got.
Mm-hmm.
Like she walked up the stairs, she's like, I'm evil, I'm the bad one. And you're like, that was weird.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
That was odd.
But yeah, I mean, she got on like a high after that, so I think she likes that.
I actually swore that he was going to give the group date rose to Carolina, but then there ended up being no group date rose.
Yeah.
So was that planned and maybe I missed that, or did he take it off the table? I guess we'll never know.
Yeah, maybe they just didn't even, I don't think it was on the table.
Yeah, I don't think so.
Yeah, I
either.
don't think so. Maybe they don't do that before hometowns?
Yeah, that's a good point, because he needs to think harder.
Yeah.
Okay, and then Latia had a one-on-one, and that was interesting.
I mean, he really likes her. You can tell. He really likes Latia.
Yeah.
But we'll just see how the whole religion thing goes, because they finally had that talk, so.
And
now
I
he
think you
knows.
called it in the beginning,
Mm-hmm.
that she probably doesn't win because of it. At least that's what it seems like.
But I mean, it's tough for him too, because she told him on this date that she's never dated anybody outside of her religion.
Yeah.
So that's something that he has to take into consideration.
Yeah, that she's trying to try something new.
Yep.
Yeah. I think she is being genuine. Like, part of me wants to wonder if it's like the whole Mormon bait and switch, where it's like, oh yeah, I want to date you and I want to try dating someone outside of my religion, but then once like they get close enough, is it going to be like, I would really just like, I would love if you would get baptized. I would just love if you just met with the missionaries a couple times.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like, I've been there. So I know how it works.
Yeah, there are a lot. Because in the commercials of him going to hometowns, I mean, there's like 1 million people around that corner.
Yeah.
I can't wait for that.
I know.
I'm excited.
Oh my gosh. Well, I guess we should get to like who's going to hometowns, huh?
Yeah.
Right.
Like her date, yeah.
Right.
So graveyard was
Carolina's
Carolina gone.
Shocking.
And she's like, I'm pretty disappointed, but
Which to say, like, I think he really took what Dina had to say to heart. Like,
Yeah,
he did
'cause
not
he chose
take it
her.
lightly.
yeah.
Yeah.
Well, because did you hear he said Dina was one of the people there that he trusted the most, and that she brought something up about Carolina. So I think he really took that to heart.
Yeah. So, okay, Dina. Okay, who's going home?
Serafina, Carolina, and Alex with an E.
Yep.
Graveyard.
Which I was just Serafina. It was really sad to watch her in the middle of the drama, just because she kept saying, "Guys, we're done. Guys, we're done." I think it was just making her so anxious to be involved in conflict when it was like such high stakes. She did not want to be associated with any of that, and I'm sure the producers were like, "No, don't cut it off." But then also, like, I don't blame her. I would be the same thing. I'd be like, knock it off.
That was actually
It's
sad
sad.
to see. You could tell that she was really like over it and it was getting to her.
Like making her really uncomfortable.
Yeah.
She didn't get any time with Grant that we saw.
Mm-mm.
Yeah.
I wasn't surprised to see her go.
No.
No.
She's cute though. Hopefully she comes Paradise. And same with Alex with Ania. I bet you they'll both go to Paradise.
And Carolina.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Maybe she
I'm like, I want all of them to go
She'll
to
be
Paradise.
perfect for the beach.
She would.
And you know what? We probably don't like Carolina right now, but then on Paradise, I bet you will like her a lot.
That's true.
That's
I feel
usually
like
how it goes.
on Paradise, you always see like the other side of people or the other
Yeah.
side of the edits.
Mm-hmm.
You never know. Some people could look like the worst person on these, and then they come out and they're like, "That's not even what happened."
Yeah.
Yeah, the edits.
Or
are
you just
really
realize
good.
they're a little nicer than they came off when they're
Yeah.
not in like a really bad situation of 20 girls going for one.
Yeah, that's true. There's more bait out there.
High stress, producers provoking you, all the things.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Dina's hometown is where, Megan?
Chicago. So they are going back to Chicago for Dina's hometown, which will
Mm-hmm.
be fun to see.
And then for Juliana's hometown, they are going to Newton, Massachusetts.
And Zoe's from New York.
And
And
then
Latia.
Latia, Salt Lake City.
Mm-hmm.
So quite different places, I guess. And that'll be really interesting to see how all the families are very different.
Juliana's family is Italian, and in the commercial they kissed. Grant kissed her, and the dad was like, "Did you just kiss my daughter?" And he was very, and then he said, "Over here we protect our own." So I think he's going to be very like mafia, mob.
Can't wait
Because
to
his
see
hair
it.
was slicked back, and he was like, "We protect them." I think he's trying to pull out the gun and be like, "I'm the protective dad," you know.
Yeah.
But Juliana was crying on those, so I'm sure there's something
We'll
wild.
see.
You gotta respect it for them
Yeah.
being protective. You know,
Yeah.
nothing wrong with that.
And he did kiss her in front of the whole family in the commercial, so.
And then Grant meeting all of Latia's family in one
Yeah.
go.
Salt Lake
That's
City.
gonna be slightly overwhelming. for
Yeah.
them. Like all of them? How many people were in that preview?
It looked like
something.
30 to 40.
50.
Well, it's probably like their cleaner and their cleaner's friend, and then their
No,
sister.
because they
and
have
the
a million kids,
and
all
a
million
million
cousins.
adopted.
I bet you that's
There's
all
so
an
many.
idiot
All
family.
It's all immediate. Well, yeah, Utah.
Yeah.
But still, we're also everybody's friendly.
Or it's the cousins, because
Yeah, the
something
cousins.
unique to Utah is that everyone I know in Utah is best friends with their cousins.
yeah,
That's like not normal for me.
Mm-hmm.
Me neither.
So Chicago, that will be an exciting time. I think they filmed it when it was cold, so we'll see how that goes.
It looked fall.
That's
Like everything was like changing colors, so I feel
Uh-huh.
like it was like early October.
right when it's going into winter.
Yeah.
And then so we have Massachusetts, Chicago, Salt Lake City,
New York.
and New York.
I think I'm slightly surprised that Zoe's still there, honestly.
I'm
Yeah.
shocked she got hometown.
I really thought that Carolina would get it. That's
Yeah.
why my brain's stuck on Carolina.
Yeah. Thought they'd stick the villain to the end, but
But I also feel like they vibed more. Like, even though everything happened, I do feel like Carolina and Grant had a connection. And I feel
Yeah.
like him and Zoe's connection was kind of dwindling.
Yeah.
So,
Maybe it's because of the conversation Zoe had with him where she was like, I feel weird that I didn't get a one-on-one and everybody else did and you chose not to talk to me, and she was honest and he might like that.
yeah,
true.
I agree. What are everyone's predictions now for who is going to win at the end?
I think
Be proposed to.
Zoe will go home first, then Dina, then Latia,
Yes.
and then
Yeah.
Juliana takes
I
it.
think all of us are on the exact same page.
Yeah.
Agreed.
Mhm.
Yeah.
Yeah. So I think we think that Juliana's gonna win it. And we'll see. Tune in next week. Make sure you like and subscribe our page. We really appreciate the support. So like and subscribe to YouTube, follow us on Instagram and TikTok, and also subscribe to our Spotify channel. That's super helpful. And then we'll be back at you next week.